The 55th Annual Northern California Cherry Blossom Festival Queen Program.
Hi, my name is Katie Akiko Drennan.
Woo!
Hi, my name is Stephanie Nisa Doi.
Hi, my name is Michelle Chico Catherine Tucker.
Hi, my name is Ashley Suzu Takimoto.
Hi, my name is Sydney Matsuko Kassen.
Welcome to the 55th Annual Cherry Blossom Festival Queen Program.
Good evening to the family, friends, and our amazing community. My name is Maya Hernandez, and it is my absolute pleasure to enjoy, as this year's chairperson, to welcome you all to the 55th Annual Northern California Cherry Blossom Festival Queen Program. We are grateful to be here standing before you today to celebrate the future leaders and representatives of our beloved Japantowns. ご来場の皆様、2020年度のクイーンプログラムにお越しいただき誠にありがとうございます。このような高難な時期に皆様とお会いできる機会が持てて大変嬉しく思います。I'd be remiss to ignore the many obstacles and adjustments our community has faced, especially over the course of this time of ongoing global civil unrest and public health crises. A reason why we have continued to persist is because our ancestors have worked tirelessly to preserve our culture and community, allowing for many generations to make our Japantown and festival continue. While we have lost many loved ones in the past years, especially recently, the festival's beloved MC and musical extraordinaire, Mr. George Yamasaki Jr., we strive as a program to provide a space for the next generation of Japanese and Japanese American women to represent and lead the preservation of the legacy, culture, and history. We could not do this without the community bonds that have been fostered over the decades. To the Queen Program Committee, you all know who you are. We could have not done this tonight and all that we have accomplished during the pandemic without your unconditional love and support. Thank you. And to our many sponsors and donors, thank you so much for your continued support as we begin our return to Japantown in person. And now, it is my great honor to welcome to the stage the Honorable Hiroshi Kawamura, the San Francisco Consul General of Japan, to help us kick off this year's programming. Welcome, Consul General Kawamura.
Distinguished judges, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My name is Kawamura. I'm the new Consul General of Japan in San Francisco. It is a great honor for me to join you for the 2022 Northern California Cherry Blossom Queen Program. Please allow me to first thank the entire Queen Program Committee for their hard work in staging tonight's production and for inviting me to participate. In particular, I would like to acknowledge Program Chair and Co-Director Ms. Maya Hernandez, Co-Director Ms. Miki Katsuyama Nobiti, and Chairperson Emeritus Mr. Ben Nakajo. I would also like to commend the 2021 Queen, Ms. Kelly Eshima, and her board for their activities assisting the community throughout a difficult year. Thank you very much for your support. My gratitude also goes to this year's candidate sponsors for their support of this program and the future of the Northern California Japanese American community. This program has helped mentor and nurture generations of Japanese American women leaders representing the Cherry Blossom Festival and the Japanese American community of Northern California at local, national, and even international level. Tonight, we celebrate 5 young women who, as those before them, will continue to rise within the community and professions. To the current and future leaders, I congratulate you on all you have accomplished so far, and I thank you for taking the initiative this year in seeking to use your skills and explore your culture and heritage. This upcoming year will be critical as we collectively work towards strengthening new and old relationships alike. I am certain that each of you will serve admirably as ambassadors, sharing the importance of this festival and this community, for the deepening connections and understanding between Japan and Northern California. I wish the candidates the best tonight and throughout their next year serving on that board. We can all look forward to hearing many great things from these women as they help lead us towards a brighter tomorrow. and thank you.
Thank you to the Honorable Kawamura-san. I wish to extend my deepest gratitude for your support. And without further ado, I hope you all enjoy tonight's program and would like to welcome our amazingly talented and beloved partners in our community, Ms. Jana Katsuyama and Mr. George Kiriyama, to kick us off as tonight's MCs. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Maya. It is wonderful to be back here and to see all of you in person. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Jana Katsuyama. I am a reporter at KTVU, Fox 2 News in Oakland, and I have been with this program since 2008. First as a judge, so I know the difficult decisions that have to go on, and then as an MC. And I was lucky enough to do it with George Kiriyama, who many of you might remember as a reporter at NBC Bay Area, and we MC'd until 2014, I think, right?
8 years ago, so it's been a while, yeah.
And now, I have to say, we're so honored that he has joined us at KTVU. So we are now co-workers, amazingly. But George, it's so great to be here with you and to be able to MC this together.
It is so nice to be back. Yeah, I was just telling Jana before tonight's program, it feels really surreal because it's been a while, 8 years, but yet it's also familiar at the same time. And also, it's good to be back and in front of all of you. In fact, we're all back together for the first time in 3 years. So it's wonderful to have this program back, and I'm just honored to be here with all of you tonight. Thank you.
We really hope you enjoy this program. It's going to be so amazing for people who have been here. You know many of the things that make this program so special. And for those of you where it is your first time, welcome. We hope you have a wonderful evening. We're excited to get this started off. One of the things that we did want to make sure that you knew is just a little bit about this Queen program, because it is really so special. It's one of those things where when you saw the opening number and the ladies coming out in the kimonos, you get a sense of this span over time where there's this connection and this continuity. The 2022 candidates opening number was actually choreographed by the 2017 Queen and Nishikawa Ryunatori, Jacqueline Kimiko Chu. So please give her a round of applause as well as our candidates for that beautiful opening performance. Thank you so much for being back and sharing with us. We also wanted to let you know that this Queen program is a mentorship program, and it really does create a space, a beautiful space for young women to develop their leadership skills, their public speaking skills, and also gives them an opportunity to volunteer with many of the organizations that are right here in Northern California.
Yeah, Jana, throughout this next year, these candidates will have the opportunity to network with prominent Japanese Americans, politicians, and diplomats, not only in Northern California, but throughout other Japanese American communities, as well as in Japan.
Yes, and it is one of those things where, through the year, we really look forward to seeing the candidates, the court, at so many of the different events. So this is the first time that they're out in the public, but it will definitely not be their last. Tonight, they will be scored in 4 different categories, which we'll kind of break down for you as we go through the program. Earlier, our distinguished panel of judges who are seated here in the first row had a chance to interview each of the candidates individually as part of the personal interview segment.
That's right. The personal interview segment was weighted as 35% of the overall score. They were judged upon their articulation, presentation, personal philosophy, professionalism, honesty, and candor. It's a good time to get to know each candidate a little bit.
Yes, and then they also have prepared a speech for you tonight. That is based on the question, as part of this court and a future community leader, how do I hope to contribute to the Northern California Japanese American community? And that speech will be worth 20% of their overall score. That will be basically judged on their ability to communicate clearly the content of their speeches, their professionalism, and their honesty.
And now we'd love to welcome back to the stage once more And the beautiful Fujiyasu Kurisoda kimonos, the 55th Annual Northern California Cherry Blossom Festival Queen candidates, and the candidate sponsors.
And you're seeing pictures of candidate number 1, Katie Akiko Drennan, sponsored by Kobuda Company. Katie says she aspires to organize festivals for cultural and social groups and educate the community about multicultural traditions. And she has mastered the ability to sing the hearts of both Troy and Gabriella in the song Gotta Go My Own Way from High School Musical 2. Ladies and gentlemen, Katie Akiko Drennan.
Good evening. My name is Katie Akiko Drennan. Thank you to all of the family, friends, and attendees who took the time to join us today. I am grateful to be representing my family and hometown of San Jose in the 2022 Cherry Blossom Queen program. We thank you for staying safe and joining us here to celebrate. Currently, I'm an event sales manager for Wedgwood Weddings at the Ranch in Silver Creek. I am especially thankful for my sponsor, Kogura Company. They are located on Jackson Street in San Jose's Japantown. The Kogura family has been providing the community with Japanese gifts and housewares since 1928. Thank you for supporting my journey in this program. In 2018, I represented the JCL Kakahashi Fellowship Program in Japan. What I enjoyed about this trip was the opportunity to explore my heritage and gain a better understanding on what it means to be Japanese American. This trip filled me with waves of appreciation as I traveled to the island my great-grandparents once left for a new life. Although this trip filled me with cultural enrichment and memories to last a lifetime, there is one moment that stuck out the most. This was our meeting with the assistant to the Prime Minister. After a few questions from our group, he paused and politely smiled. He began to tell us that although we looked Japanese, he knew we were Japanese American because of how outspoken the women were. His response made me reflect on what that meant. What does it mean to be a Japanese American woman? To me, being a Japanese American woman is just that. Being able to speak up and face challenges head on while evolving with our community. Japanese American pioneers established traditions that we continue to protect and evolve. With each generation, we blend these traditions with our multicultural America. As a leader, I want to do more than participate. I want to use my voice and not be silent. I plan to use my work experience in event management to promote my local JCL chapters and San Jose Japantown events. My goal is to commemorate today's traditions while connecting with the next generation. We need to continue the conversation of our community's past, present, and future. It's important we continue the dialogue of Japanese American history for our predecessors who could not speak during their time, and for future generations who can continue to carry the torch. As a candidate, I'm humbled to have an outlet to say thank you. To my family, community, and all of the Japanese American trailblazers before me. I will continue to protect and evolve our history. Thank you again to my sponsor, Kogura Company, for letting me represent the store and our family. And thank you to all of you for joining us here today to celebrate.
And we would like to extend our deepest gratitude to Katie's sponsor, Kpop-TV Company. The Kpop-TV Company is represented tonight by co-owner of the company, Mr. Robert Kpop-TV. And the company is the 2021 Telly. Thank you so much. Arigatou gozaimasu.
All right, time now for candidate number 2, Stephanie Misa Doi. Stephanie is sponsored by Takata Sake USA Incorporated. Stephanie aspires to build and empower others to create resilient, sovereign, sustainable, and equitable communities. When Stephanie was 4 years old, she won a radio contest singing Britney Spears' Baby One More Time. Yes, that is what is read here. She still loves to sing, though her roommates are currently crowdfunding for singing lessons right now.
Good evening. My name is Stephanie Misa Joy. Professionally, I work as a Development Associate Manager at SEI, an education and workforce development organization building leaders to drive sustainability solutions. I stand before you tonight with a men's strategy for my sponsor, Takata Sake USA Incorporated, and love and appreciation for you all, my family, friends, and community. Okage-sama de. I invite you to recall your earliest memories in a Japantown or Nikkei space. What did they sound like, taste like, feel like? When I closed my eyes, I smiled, reminiscing about eating Sophie's crepes and buying trinkets with my sisters in San Francisco's Japantown. I can taste the shaved ice from Shuedo and feel the heat of San Jose Japantown's hot summer sun beating down my back. I have fond childhood memories when I think back on my time in the Japantowns with my family. But deep down, I felt like a tourist. Now it matters that I felt like a tourist and could take photos, eat food, make memories, and then leave. We want people to come back to our Japantowns, patronize our wonderful small businesses, take part in community events, become future leaders, and most importantly, care about our past and our future. After serving as a Nikkei Community Internship intern at Japanese Cultural and Community Center of Northern California staff member, and now as a Northern California Cherry Blossom Festival Queen Program candidate, the Japantowns mean something to me. I know I have a stake in them. I know the history of displacement, but also of resilience. Communities are resilient when their people are resilient. Together, I believe we can create an even more inclusive, vibrant, sustainable, and resilient community. Together, I believe we can create a community that looks like, sounds like, and tastes like, and feels like home for all. As a future leader, I will ensure this is our collective future. From the bottom of my heart, I would like to thank Takata Sake USA Incorporated for your generosity and support of community events like this one. And I would like to extend my deepest gratitude to you all. I am humbled by your presence tonight and look forward to empowering all people to feel connected to and appreciative of the past, culture, and future of this resilient community. Thank you.
And we would like to thank Stephanie's sponsor, Takata Sake USA Incorporated, for supporting her on this journey. Takata Sake USA Incorporated is represented tonight by Shigeaki Azuma, Senior Manager of Sales and Marketing for Takata Sake. He's accompanied by 2021 First Princess, Akiko Bates. Thank you very much.
And now I'd like to turn to candidate number 3, Michelle Chieko Catherine Heckert, sponsored by the Nihon Machi Street Fair. Michelle hopes to pursue in the future a PhD to further explore mixed race identities. She can also, we understand, do an aerial cartwheel with no hands, although she says she hasn't attempted it in a few months.
all for being here tonight. My name is Michelle Chieko Kaplan-Heckert. Currently, I work as a Research Operations Associate at Flexport, a technology company in the supply chain and logistics industry. I would love to take a moment to thank my sponsor, Nihon Machi Street Fair, whose generosity has allowed me and other young leaders to further our involvement within the Japanese American community. For almost 23 years, I did not know what it meant to truly be a part of the Japanese American community. I knew what it looked like to attend Japantown events, eat Japanese comfort foods, and even reflect upon my ancestors' incarceration experiences. But I knew I could go deeper. What I often leave out of my story is feeling disconnected from my university's Japanese Student Association, or failing the Japanese language AP test in high school, or being asked, "What are you?" by friends and acquaintances. And then there's my name. I never felt that it fully carries the weight of my heritage. It was only after graduating college that I encountered other multiracial Nikkei who also wanted to explore their identities. Through internships, volunteer opportunities, and other virtual experiences, I developed lasting relationships that catapulted me into fostering inclusive Nikkei spaces. I finally felt that I had been embraced for being mixed. As a representative of the Northern California Cherry Blossom Festival, it is my goal to enable other young leaders to find their sense of belonging. That is why I will continue to promote community-driven opportunities, such as JCL's Kakahashi Exchange Program, volunteering with Kimochi's nutrition program, and attending one of Tadaima's virtual pilgrimages. These are just a few of the many experiences that have shaped my identity, and I hope that they can inspire other young Nikkei as well. I'm humbled to share my story here with all of you tonight, and I would love to extend my gratitude to my sponsor once again, Nihon Machi Street Fair, for their support and continued commitment to uplifting the Japanese American community, as well as bridging communities within and beyond the Asian American community. It is truly an honor to have deepened my sense of community amongst my fellow Queen Program candidates, and I would like to extend my gratitude to family, friends, and other supporters who could not be here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we would like to extend our deepest gratitude to the top sponsor, Nihon Machi Street Fair, for supporting her on this journey. Nihon Machi Street Fair is represented tonight by Mr. Roger Fujinaga, the Nihon Machi Street Fair Board President, accompanied by 2021 Princess Ashlyn Hall. Thank you so much.
All right, time now for candidate number 4, Ashley Suzu Takemoto. Sponsored by the Japanese Chamber of Commerce of Northern California, Ashley aspires to pursue a career in medicine focusing on emergency medicine or infectious diseases. Ashley is ambidextrous. She can do homework with her left hand and eat sushi with her right hand at the same time. I'm going to see video. There's got to be video. Candidate number 4, Ashley Suzu Takemoto.
Good evening. Konbanwa. My name is Ashley Suzu Takemoto, and I'm delighted to stand here tonight as a candidate for the Northern California Cherry Blossom Festival's Queen Program. Firstly, I'd like to thank my sponsor, the Japanese Chamber of Commerce of Northern California, for their continued support of the Japanese American community, as well as everyone who has gathered here tonight to celebrate Nikkei and Japanese culture during this special time of year. On a normal day, I'm a sophomore at UC Berkeley. I'm intending on majoring in molecular and cell biology, and I hope to continue my education to pursue a degree in medicine and serve the Asian American community through healthcare. A fond memory I have right here in San Francisco, Japantown, is participating in the Onna Mikoshi. It was the spring of my 6th grade. We marched down Post Street in our bright purple happy, and I shared the weight of the Mikoshi on my shoulders with classmates from my Japanese school. As I grew older, I felt responsible to carry more. I bared some of that weight when I volunteered at a hospital in Tokyo and connected with patients as we took our daily walks under the blooming cherry blossom trees. I talked to English-speaking guests about our vibrant tea ceremony at a local tea garden. Today, I serve my community as a Japanese to English medical interpreter to advocate for patients to get the proper care that they deserve. I've learned to carry more. But with the people I've met and the communities I found, this process has been effortless because we bear this weight together. By identifying as Japanese, I learned to understand my roots and really appreciate our culture. By growing up in America, I've learned to listen to my heart and celebrate our unique individuality. As a representative of the Japanese American community, I promise to continue to listen and educate myself about our history and heritage. I will be an advocate, and I hope to connect Japanese, Nikkei, and American cultures together. Most importantly, I hope to welcome those who have struggled with their identities, like myself, and embrace their unique experiences with open arms. Home is where the heart is. And I'd like to thank my sponsor, the Japanese Chamber of Commerce of Northern California, as well as everyone who has come here tonight to make the Japanese American community my home. 本日はお越しいただきありがとうございます。
We would like to thank Ashley's sponsor, the Japanese Chamber of Commerce of Northern California, for their support. The Japanese Chamber of Commerce is represented tonight by the JCCNC President, Mr. Tsuyoshi Tsurumi, and accompanied by 2021 Queen, Telly Nishima.
Thank you so much. Now, we'd like to move to candidate number 5, Sydney Matsuko Kassen, sponsored by the Japanese American Museum of San Jose. She aspires to be a program manager for a user experience team that designs for consumer-facing products that can make life a little bit easier for its users. Sydney says she used to refer to herself as half Japanese, half vegetarian when she was little because her father is a vegetarian. Candidate number 5, Sydney Matsuko Kassen.
Hello everyone, and thank you so much for coming tonight. My name is Sydney Matsuko Kassen, and I'm 24 years old. Currently, I work as a visual designer on the experience design team at Cisco. I would first love to take a moment to thank my sponsor, the Japanese American Museum of San Jose, for supporting me as well as inspiring me to volunteer. I would also love to thank everyone's loved ones, my friends, and my family for coming here tonight. Without your continued support, love, and generosity, this program would have not been possible. I would like to start the night with a question. Who am I as a Japanese American? This has been a question I've asked myself for years, along with the question, am I Japanese enough? I believe I am enough because my heritage anchors me to a community, a family, like all of you. As a representative, I want to celebrate our individuality and also take a moment to remind you all that we are stronger together. I have vivid memories of what it was like growing up in the Japanese American community. The excitement that would glow on my face as I danced in my first Obon festival or made manju with my grandma and her friends is something I will never forget. My grandma loves sharing her world with me, and so does every single person I've met in this community. I never understood how deep history could leave its mark until my grandpa told me about his incarceration experience. When I visited the Hiroshima Peace Memorial Museum for the very first time and experienced its heaviness with everyone there, I saw how history left its mark. I understood that heaviness when I saw how our Japanese American community was treated during the pandemic. Because of this, I want to continue advocating and volunteering for our Japantowns. I want to continue volunteering for jams to help spread the message about our history, our story. I want us all to feel proud for being so resilient and fighting to be heard in our own way. I am Japanese enough. You are Japanese enough. And we are enough. Once again, I would love to thank my sponsor, the Japanese American Museum of San Jose, for supporting me and this program for the very first time this year. I also want to thank my family and everyone here for making me feel Japanese enough. Thank you.
Thank you, Sydney. And we would like to thank Sydney's sponsor, the Japanese American Museum of San Jose. The Japanese American Museum of San Jose is represented tonight by Board President Michael Serra. He is accompanied by the 2021 First Princess Akiko Davis. Thank you.
Please give these 5 accomplished young women another round of applause. And thank you for the support of our attending sponsors. Thank you so much.
That is not easy, getting up and promoto and facing a whole audience. So well done to our judges.
Fantastic job.
Well, as we mentioned earlier, the judges met and interviewed each candidate separately.
They did. That person interview was again 35%, and the images we just witnessed were worth 20% of their overall scores.
And so before we move on, we'd like to introduce you to our illustrious panel of judges who've agreed to take on this very formidable task tonight of trying to pick our cherry blossom queen.
Judge number 1 is Miss Jamie Shimamura. An educator, Miss Shimamura taught for 15 years before moving on to becoming a district instructional coach, elementary school assistant principal, and now currently a program manager in the Department of Curriculum and Instruction in the Fremont Unified School District. A proud wife and mother of 2 teenagers, Jamie is also the former director of the Queen Program and member of the 1995 Cherry Blossom Court. Her most treasured takeaway from her experience with the Queen Program is her long-lasting friendships with her Cherry sisters. Miss Jamie Shimamura, would you please stand? You're already standing. Be recognized.
And one of the things that you'll find is that there are a lot of the people who were participants in the court who come back as volunteers or as judges, so we will be introducing some more of them. Judge number 2, Ms. Ellen Kamei. Ms. Kamei is a current council member and former mayor of the city of Mountain View in the heart of Silicon Valley. She's the daughter of a Chinese and Puerto Rican American mother and a Japanese American father born at Heart Mountain Internment Camp. Ellen is alumnus of the Japan Exchange and Teaching Program, or the JET program, the U.S.-Japan Council of Emerging Leaders program, and served on the board of the Japantown Community Congress of San Jose and the New Generation Nikkei Fund. Please welcome Ms. Ellen Kamei.
Judge number 3 is Tony Kazu Naganuma. Mr. Naganuma was born in Palau, Peru during World War II. He and his family were kidnapped from Peru in 1944 and interned at the Crystal City, Texas concentration camp. After being released in 1947, his family settled right here in San Francisco. As principal and creative director of NDD Creative, his work has been recognized for excellence for more than 50 years. Some examples are displayed throughout Japantown, like the origami lanterns at Buchanan Mall, logos and signage for Nihonmachi Little Friends, Kokoro Kimochi in the San Francisco Japantown District Walk. Though he's semi-retired, he still enjoys the creative challenges a new project brings. He is currently involved with 3 historical projects in the Bay Area, so please give Mr. Kaz Naganuma a warm round of applause.
Judge number 4 is Kona Kawai. Ms. Kawai was born and raised in Tokyo, Japan, and moved to San Francisco at the age of 15. She participated in the Northern California Cherry Blossom Queen program in 2016. She currently works as a sales team assistant at Silicon Valley Fudo-Usan Real Estate. The company provides relocation services to Japanese companies and their expats and serves as a bridge between Japan and the United States. Please welcome Ms. Kona Kawai.
Judge number 5 is Dr. Ryo Kita. Dr. Kita was born in Mie, Japan, and moved to the United States prior to elementary school. He has lived in the Bay Area since graduate school, where he received his MD and PhD from Stanford University. He has performed scientific research in a number of areas, including astrophysics, developmental biology, evolutionary biology, genetics, and one more, and cancer. Currently, he is the Director of Data Science at Notable Labs, a cancer precision medicine company. Please give Dr. Ryo Kita a warm round of applause.
And judge number 6 is Mr. Tak Yamashita. Mr. Yamashita is the CEO of Japan External Trade Organization, JETRO, San Francisco. Previously, he served at the Japanese Cabinet Office to restore Fukushima, Japan. He engaged in lifting evacuation orders in Fukushima by creating an environment for Fukushima people to get back home. In his current position, Mr. Yamashita has contributed to many entities such as Japanese startups, U.S. startups, Japanese-affiliated corporations, state governments in the Pacific West, and local communities. He says he loves affordable red wine and sake. Please stand, Mr. Tak Yamashita. Thank you so much to all of the judges for your time today and this evening. We certainly know it is not an easy task to have to judge the fine young women who are on stage tonight and try and pick someone, but we appreciate your being here tonight.
That's right. Now, we'd like to introduce our distinguished guests who are joining us in the audience this evening. We would like to ask our VIPs to stand as their name is called.
Starting us off, once again, representing the Japanese consulate in San Francisco, the Consul General, the Honorable Hiroshi Kawamura. Thank you for being with us.
I would like to now introduce again the President of the Japanese Chamber of Commerce of Northern California, Mr. Tsuyoshi Tsurumi, and all of the members of the Chamber in attendance tonight for their continuous support of the program and festival.
Recognize Japan Airlines, Mr. Taiki Ozawa, Vice President and Japan Airlines Vice President at the Regional Manager, Northwestern Region. He is accompanied by Mr. Hiroto Sato, the Senior Maintenance Manager, and Mr. Norifumi Ikeda, the Director of Administration. Please stand and be recognized. Thank you for joining us tonight.
We also like to recognize the 55th Annual Cherry Blossom Festival co-chairpersons, Mr. Colin Rusky and Mr. Matt Nakatomi.
Wearing their cherry blossom hoppy coats. We also want to recognize a jewelry designer and professional vocalist. She annually donates the cherry blossom pendants to the court. Ms. Kayoko Tachibana of Tachibana Designs. And Please give a warm round of applause to Ms. Bernie Hui and Ms. Hiroko Sato, who created and donated the beautiful handmade kanzashi to match each candidate's kimono. Thank you so much. And we also should note that Ms. Sato is also the one who is responsible for helping them get into the kimono, which anyone who's worn a kimono knows is no small feat. So please, a big round of applause for her as well.
And last but not least, please welcome Ms. Nancy Okubo, representing festival sponsor Union Bank. Ms. Okubo is also the current president of our sister festival in LA, Nisei Week.
All right, we have now come to the on-stage interview portion. This is one of the parts that I really enjoy.
That's the fun part.
So along with the individual interviews with the judging panel, this section is the most heavily weighted segment, worth 35% of their total score. The questions that we will ask were only known to me and George. We just thought them up. We did not share them with the candidates. So they will be responding spontaneously and have to show you how they think on their feet, how they present themselves, and for the judges, it gives them an opportunity just to see how they interact in a kind of one-on-one type setting.
My questions are on myself. I have very specific questions. I want to get the wording right.
And the judges are going to score each candidate based on their ability to answer in a clear, direct, and thoughtful manner. So let's welcome the candidates back to the stage. Wanted to just let the audience know, first of all, is before we begin, we want to remind you that each of these sections will be 4 minutes. And so at the end of the 4 minutes, you will hear a bell rung by Kiyomi Takeda. And Kiyomi, if you would please. That is a sign of the bell. It's a very nice, friendly bell. It's a very friendly bell. So at that point, if you can just, don't feel like you need to stop, but just kind of finish up your thought, and then we'll move on. So, just good luck to all of you all, and I hope you enjoy this part, because we certainly will enjoy a chance to get to know you a little bit better in this segment. So first of all, candidate number 1. So one of the things, as we were looking at the bios and the essays and everything, were some of the things that you enjoyed. And in the creative expression, you were playing ukulele. And so I wanted to just start off asking you about what it was that made you decide you wanted to play, and what it is you enjoy about playing.
Yeah, so I actually started playing when I joined this program. So I'm still kind of a beginner, but it was something that I've seen my sister learn how to do. She actually gets taught by Rodney Takahashi from ukulele jams in San Jose, Japantown. So kind of wanted to take this program, since I'm stepping out of my comfort zone. I wanted to also do something new, like learning an instrument. So I also decided to do ukulele as well and try something new with this whole experience.
What was the hardest part about it?
For someone who is tone deaf, in my opinion, it was a little hard to get like a musical ear, so it was a work in progress, but I hope everyone enjoys it later this evening.
Katie, your bio says you aspire to organize festivals for cultural and social groups to educate the community about multicultural traditions. And so there are many young 4th and 5th generation Japanese Americans who some feel are not as connected to their heritage and culture as some, as say, earlier generations. So what can you and other young Japanese American leaders do to help connect others to embrace their Japanese American identity and be proud of who they are?
I think there's a lot of ways that you can tackle that in events and festivals, so it's hard to pin down one sort of idea, but I think technology is a huge thing. It matters very much to the next generation, and it's evolving constantly. So if there's some way to implement technology with I think also spreading our history is important. I think people don't know the value of something until they know the history of it. So I think combining technology and educating the youth on why we're here today as a Japanese American community is really important. And I think there's a way to implement it in events and more fun, festive things, and kind of put the two together so the next generation can continue.
And just to follow up on that, is there something that you've seen where that has worked successfully that you think would be a good model for things like the Festival Here program or other organizations?
With the pandemic, I think a lot of things went virtual, so I think we should still implement those things. Panels, Q&As, being able to Zoom people in from further away that might not be able to get there in person. I think that can really help broaden who we reach out to and who is able to reach out to us. I think it's really positive to use in a big festival setting because it's more people.
Thank you.
I think there are ears here thinking, next year for the Queen program, maybe we can start using some of that technology. Thank you so much. And I just wanted to ask, finally, as you were going through the program, was there any particular thing that you found to be most challenging that you feel now good about that you were able to overcome?
Yes, I'm not the best public speaker sometimes, so this whole experience pushed me out of my box and wanting to really push myself to the limit and do what I thought I couldn't do in the past. So I'm really proud of myself for being here on stage and kind of getting past that public speaking fear that I've had in the past.
And one other question, it says here that one of your hobbies is watching Disney movies. So would you care to share what your favorite Disney movie is?
Yeah, I love the movie Mulan. I think everyone can agree Eddie Murphy as Mushu is pretty hilarious in it. So, but not just that, the message of what Mulan is, it wasn't about her finding a man necessarily. It was more about her fighting for her family and wanting to take her father's place and do what was right and really stand on her own. That's something that really resonated with me. And also just to see an Asian character on screen as a child it's something to look up to. So it's always been a favorite movie of mine.
Thank you so much. Yes, Katie.
So in your essay, you mentioned the word ancestors 5 times. I counted that word 5 times.
Oh my goodness.
So you are proud of the connection you have with your ancestors and the path they have trailblazed for you. Of all the things you have learned about those who came before you, which trait or characteristic do you possess that is the most like your ancestors?
I can't believe I mentioned that 5 times. I should have counted. But I think the trait is probably inner strength. My ancestors, one, were extremely strong individuals, both personally, but also just physically too, and to go through so much, especially incarceration and just that displacement, it inspires me to just continue to be resilient and strong and do that for other communities as well and be that for other communities as well. So I think it's strength.
A lot of conversations between, say, your parents and your grandparents and uncles and aunts. Was that constant in your childhood?
Definitely.
Well, one of the things that you had also mentioned was your poetry, the creative writing. And I'm wondering if you could share with us if you have a favorite poet, either American, Japanese, or otherwise, that you really look to or you admire.
I love Maya Angelou. She's definitely one of my favorite poets. Right now, though, I'm reading Tracy Katokiyama's book. It's her new poetry. Do you know?
That's my sister.
Oh my God!
She would be very happy to hear this.
And I heard she's having her book opening tomorrow, I think, or book reading.
She was just here in Berkeley a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, so thank you. Yes.
Just an incredible fan. I'm currently reading a book, and it's so moving and inspirational as an Japanese American, and I think that is inspiration for me to think about writing poetry, and I didn't know that was your sister.
I was just going to say, they just met tonight, so this was
This is not planned at all. That was a loud moment for me. Speaking of, my sister loves baking. I know that on your, I guess, bio says you love to bake as well. So is that what's some creations that you like to make?
I love baking chocolate chip cookies. I actually told the judges that previously, and that's because you can make so many different types of chocolate chip cookies. You'd be surprised. And my parents like different types of chocolate chip cookies. My dad likes crunchy, my mom likes cakey, and then my sisters both like really chewy chocolate chip cookies. My little sister does not like the sprinkle of salt on top, so I have to remember to not do that. And I also really like to bake cakes, especially birthday cakes for people that I love.
That's great. I wanted to ask you, because you had put down among the community organizations the Buddhist Church of Stockton, and certainly we see oftentimes a gravitational pull of the San Francisco Bay Area, San Jose, Los Angeles, but there are these communities in the Central Valley that have long histories and ties with the Japanese American communities and immigrant experience. So I'm wondering if you, are looking ahead, what kinds of things do you think would be useful to try and pull in some of those communities or some of the history of those communities so that those also get some of the same recognition that we see here in San Francisco?
It's really interesting that you said that, because my sisters and I actually have gotten the chance to become more connected in the past couple of months with the Buddhist Church of Stockton again, and we've been able to host virtual programming and really tie in history and fun and kind of get people excited about the Buddhist Church of Stockton and pull them into different community events that maybe they're missing from being in the Central Valley. And I know Sydney joined in with her grandma on our sushi making class.
Yes, and I think that goes to what you were saying about the power of technology too.
Definitely.
Able to bring people together. Thank you so much. Stephanie, Sonoy. Okay, Michelle. I wanted to ask you, first of all, you had mentioned about the Japanese American memorial pilgrimages. And I just wanted to see if you could, kind of share with the audience here who might not be familiar with that, kind of what it was that inspired you about this organization, if you took any pilgrimages, and sort of what your takeaway has been from the experience.
Sure. I like to think that a lot of my involvement within the Japanese American community builds on top of one another. And so I actually got involved with JAMP through the Kakahashi exchange program. I met a friend there who was involved with JAMP, Japanese American Memorial Pilgrimages, and he asked if I wanted to join a virtual programming through the organization. And so this was my first experience getting to understand what that looked like. I did attend a virtual pilgrimage to Manzanar, and it was really interesting being able to virtually walk through the incarceration site and see what it might have looked like at the time. And then eventually from there, I was able to get more involved with the Yonsei podcast, which is a podcast that I run with a few other members of the community. And we talk about what our experience is like being young Japanese Americans, how we look back at our history, and how we can make sure that some of those events from the past don't happen today, and how we can be in solidarity with other communities.
Yeah, so to expand on that, it says here you want to pursue a PhD to further explore mixed race identities. So you are a Yonsei, right? Fourth generation.
Correct.
Japanese American roots also in Western Europe and Latin America. With so much diversity in your background, would you say you are a blend of all of your cultures, or do you equally see yourself as individual parts making up the whole? Which one?
I definitely think I'm a blend of all those cultures that make up my blood quantum levels. I would say that I have gravitated toward my Japanese American ancestry because of the proximity of those ancestors. My grandparents, my maternal family all lives in the Bay Area, and so I've been able to spend a lot of time with them over the years and feel like I can connect with that side of my heritage a lot more. But I do want to continue exploring what being mixed race means to me, what that looks like, investing in other cultures, and really learning the full part of what Michelle Chieko Catherine is.
Fun question now. Songwriting. It was at the top of your bio here. So songwriting. What kind of songs do you write? What inspires you? Any musician role models?
I started writing songs really as soon as I could put words together and hum a melody. You can ask my family, they're sitting in the back over there. I have always written songs, but I never really shared them until after high school, probably in college. I really do look up to the singer-songwriter and lead singer of One Republic, Ryan Tedder. I think he's an incredible songwriter, writes really catchy hooks, really catchy choruses that get stuck in your head. And I think that's so prevalent in pop music and makes a great pop song, which is the type of music that I do write and aspire to continue writing.
Is your songs about your life or about things that you witnessed or see?
A lot of songs end up being about relationships, heartbreak, maybe my own or someone else's. I try to write about other topics as well, and I've been more and more trying to write about my heritage and the incarceration experience and what that may have looked like for my ancestors.
And oftentimes we see artists, songwriters, kind of being a bridge across different cultures and things like that. Are there any people that you look to who you think do that successfully?
I do think Kishibashi, who's actually performing in the Fillmore pretty soon, I think that he does a really great job of melding his heritage with his music. And I know he recently came out, maybe a couple of years now, but came out with an album of songs inspired by the incarceration. And a lot of that was instrumental or had a lot of symphonic components. And I think that's really special to be able to get kind of that audio and phonic experience of what the incarceration experience could have been or was, and have people be able to put their feet in their shoes there.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Yes, Michelle.
All right, Ashley, so as you mentioned before, you want to pursue a career in medicine focusing on emergency medicine or infectious diseases. You say you would like to blend your passions by serving the Asian American community through healthcare. I want to know what inspired you to embark on your medical career. Was there a moment or situation in your life where you said, I need to do this, I need to devote my life to taking care of people when it comes to their health and well-being? Was there a moment, situation in your life?
I think it wasn't a particular moment, but during high school I had the opportunity to take a class called Medical Explorers, and essentially what we would do for the last semester of our senior year, we would leave our school campus at 12 p.m. and then for the rest of the day we would be in the hospital, getting to interact with patients, getting to learn how to clean wounds or talk to patients and their families. And I think the interactions and the connections that medical professionals made with their patients and with all that is involved was really inspiring for me.
I said, Paul, from what you've seen like in the Asian American community with the pandemic and the need for medical research and all that, just the last couple of years, how have you been approaching this and taking a look at what's been going on, specifically as it affects the Asian American and Japanese American community?
One thing that I started in university was a program, or I joined a program called Volunteers Health Interpreters Organization. And essentially what we do is that we provide Japanese to English medical translations for patients in the local area. And we're really advocating for people who identify as LEP or low English proficiency. I believe that every individual should deserve equal access to healthcare no matter what culture or identity they have. And really, language should not be a physical barrier there. So that is one intersection that I've been exploring recently.
And just to follow up on that, has there been any moment that you've had in the midst of doing the translations for people that's really had a big impact on you?
I believe a lot of different cultural nuances and language was something that was a big realization when I started translating for the program. Like, for example, how to interpret pain. So, like prickling pain, shooting pain, that can all be different onomatopoeia in Japanese, chiku-chiku or tsutsu, some people may know. And I think just kind of going back and forth, toggling between the languages was something that was difficult and a big realization. I had the opportunity to be a language coach for the Japanese department at my school. And so when I was teaching, that was probably when I found it most difficult, trying to convey those differences.
That onomatopoetic kind of nuance that comes with Japanese, that sometimes it can be challenging.
Right.
I have a fun question, so I'm going to steal your question if you don't mind. Karaoke. What's your go-to song?
There's so many.
There's got to be one though. It's I got to sing that one. What's the song you sing every time you're at a place?
There's a new song that came out during the pandemic, and it's called Into the Night, or Yoru ni Kakeru by YOASOBI. It's a really up-tempo J-pop song, but you know, it actually conveys a lot of deeper meaning. It talks about the mental health of the youth in Japan, as well as, I think it's universal idea. And when I went to karaoke with my roommates, YOASOBI actually has an English version, official lyrics. So we were able to sing Japanese and English at the same time. So there's that integration, and we really enjoyed that.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ashley.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to start off with cat mom, because I saw that on here, and one of your hobbies is being a cat mom. So tell us about what kind of cat you have, what your cat's name is, and why you like being a cat mom.
I'm actually a little bit of a crazy cat mom because I got a DNA test for my cat, and she is predominantly a Maine Coon, which means she's extremely fluffy. Her name is Yuna. She's 1 year old, and I absolutely adore her. She's such a weirdo and so much fun to be around. She keeps me company while I work at home and helps me stay somewhat productive.
So I'm trying to segue from a cat mom to my question here.
DNA test. That is good luck.
So let's segue here. In your essay, you describe yourself as a Yonsei and Gosei, fourth and fifth generation, who has the ability to create a life and a name for yourself in a world that wouldn't necessarily accept you years ago. So do you feel you are accepted 100% now? Or do you feel there's still some work to be done? And if so, what would you like to see happen to gain that full acceptance?
I definitely feel accepted now. I think being this generation, I've had the opportunity to volunteer for the museum, dance hula, experience so many different types of cultures, and really just involve myself deeper in the community. And it's given me such a strong sense of identity. And that's something that I will take with myself in the future. And I'm always inspired from whatever I learn, from whether it be learning respect and tradition from hula, or learning community and resilience from the museum. That is something I will take with me forever.
I wanted to ask you about the museum because you mentioned the Japanese American Museum of San Jose. And I was just wondering if there is any exhibit or any artifact that's there that spoke to you in particular. And also on that point, what things do you think as a community we should be preserving in our museums?
One of my favorite exhibits is the World War II barracks. It is so unique to the museum because it's an immersive experience. And my grandpa used to give tours and tell his story. And I think when you are there in the museum, it takes you back and it makes you really picture the history. And it's very important to me to learn that and remember it. And in the future, I think the best, or one of the most amazing things we can remember is our family history through things like the Tesaku Project, or in JAMS, the Monabu Oral History Project that tells stories about families and their incarceration experience. Some websites even help people find their families if they don't know the history. And for me, family is so important, and I think knowing your family history is also very important as well.
And is there something that in the course of this that you've discovered? Have you been doing your own oral histories with your family members?
I have. I've actually had conversations with my grandma and grandpa and found out what they did, what happened to them during the incarceration. My grandma actually moved to Colorado with her family and stayed with a friend. And my grandpa was interned at Jerome, Arkansas, and he told me all about his experience in a family of 10 in the internment camps and what that was like. And listening to their stories, it's brought us a lot closer, and that was one of the goals that I've had for the Queen program. I wanted to really solidify and remember these memories with my grandparents so I can treasure them from here on out.
I'm going to segue to something more fun. There's one last question, because I don't know if everyone knows about this. So you're into mountain biking and road biking, so I just want to make sure that the audience knows that too, in addition to everything you just said. So you actually do that, mountain biking?
I do. Mountain biking is my creative expression, and unfortunately I won't be mountain biking on stage. It might be a little bit of a safety issue, but I did film a really fun video, and I hope it brings you with me on my ride and makes you feel excited, because mountain biking is something that makes me feel adventurous and wild, and it's something I can do with my friends and my family, especially my dad, who has really got me into mountain biking as well, and I'm very excited for you to see the video.
Well, thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for our candidate. Ladies, you did such a good job. Well done.
Serious, so hopefully we gave you a cross-section of what they're all about. That was our intention.
Yes, and a little bit of their personality. This is such a different, this is a long program that they go through, and for them to be up there tonight and be able to just share, that was really fun. Well, right now we want to turn your attention to the other side of the stage. You'll notice this beautiful kimono that is displayed, and for many of you who have been part of this program, you know how special this is. Due to the ongoing restrictions of the pandemic, we are unable to display the Queen's kimono this year, but we do want to let you know about the important history. It's our pleasure to share with you all the 2012 Queen's kimono, as it is the 10-year anniversary. We want to thank the 2012 Queen, Ms. Sasaki Osato, for allowing us to share this with everyone tonight. The Queen's kimono is donated by the Fujiyasu Kimono Company each year as a gift for whomever receives the Queen title tonight. And for the history of this festival's wonderful, amazing relationship with the Fujiyasu Kimono Company, please welcome the 2016 Queen, Ms. Sammy Tsukishi.
Good evening, everyone. The Fujiyasu Kimono Company has been an integral part of the Queen program for almost 5 decades. Each year, since 1973, the Japan-based company donates a beautiful Furisori kimono to be gifted to the newly selected Northern California Cherry Blossom Festival Queen. At the heart of this gift lies a rich history connecting the Japanese-American community to the community abroad in Japan. In the wake of World War II, Japanese citizens were left struggling to survive, lacking the basic necessities of everyday life. Simultaneously, Japanese Americans here in the United States were also working to rebuild their own lives after being released from internment camps. Despite the fact that these Japanese Americans returned home with next to nothing themselves, they recognized that those in Japan were in greater need and came together to send provisions to Japan, with the Japanese darkest of times. Those in Japan initially thought these donations were sent by the U.S. occupation forces and were surprised to learn that they came from the Japanese American community. One of the recipients of these supplies was the late Mr. Seishichi Otto, former president of the Fujiyasu Kimono Company. Never forgetting this post-war aid that was provided to him from the Japanese American community, Mr. Otto sent the Queen program the first Furisode kimono, expressing his gratitude and beginning a philanthropic legacy that we are fortunate enough to partake in today. Current President, Mr. Kazunori Mochizuki, has continued this tradition, affording the opportunity for many young women to wear a kimono for the first time in their lives, and further fostering the connection between Japan and the Japanese American community. From the thread, to the patterns, to the fabric, these one-of-a-kind furisodes are truly a work of art. They are carefully crafted over the course of an entire year and are rooted in love, dedication, and gratitude, reminiscent of the relationship they represent. This year's furisode is by Yumi Katsuda, the iconic bridal designer. The bold rose pattern textile is dyed in blocks of white and gray, while the eyes are drawn to the red, white, and gray painted roses. The Fujiyasu Kimono Company chose a design that was a bit different from the past furisodes they have gifted with both Western and Japanese elements. The accompanying obi has a silver base decorated with round chrysanthemums and cherry blossoms. This colorful Fukuro obi was made by a historic Kyoto Nishijin textile maker. Beyond their physical beauty, these furisodes symbolize a mutual respect and admiration between the two countries. As we reflect back on this cherished and long-standing history, we acknowledge the importance of resiliency, selflessness, and fellowship. The Queen program is eternally grateful to the Fujiyasu Kimono Company for not only these gorgeous furisodes, but for the good will and bond that they represent. We will forever be appreciative of this ever-blossoming relationship between Japan and the Japanese American community and the preservation of our culture, and we look forward to building upon it for many years to come. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sammy. Ladies and gentlemen, before we take a 15-minute break for intermission, we would like to encourage all of you to purchase the raffle tickets.
Yes, we'll have the drawing after the intermission. The tickets are $1 per.
A strong female leader leads with empathy and an equity lens.
I think a strong female leader is someone that is able to stand up for what is right, even if others maybe aren't fully standing up for it.
I think that a strong female leader would be somebody who can advocate for their people and their communities. I also would admire somebody who can vocalize their opinions.
I think someone with a lot of empathy and really wants to understand their community members and really engage with them and hopes to create change for them.
I think a strong female leader would be someone who's passionate, because when they show their passion, it encourages others to be just as passionate.
I really admire artist Rita Sawa, and she's created access to a lot of arts education programs, and I think that's really valuable.
My role model is Evelyn Yoshimura because of her activism in the Japanese American community. Also, she used the civil rights movement of African Americans to kind of influence what she did with Japanese Americans.
My role model is a neuroscientist, and her name is Nobuko Nakano. I really liked her work since I was younger, and I hope to do research like her in college.
My role model is Chanel Miller. I am so impressed on how she uses her voice to speak out for women's rights and young women.
My role model is Yuri Kochiyama. First, because she was a strong advocate for reparations for Japanese Americans after incarceration during World War II, and because she used that experience and really fought for and championed the rights of all communities.
If I had a superpower, I would love to be able to talk to animals. I think it would be so cool to be able to hear what my cat has to say to me.
If I had a superpower, I'd be really interested in reading people's minds. I think it would be nice to look into people's opinions and worldviews, something that I wouldn't be able to understand if I were in their shoes.
I would like the ability to be fluent in all languages. One, because I had a hard time learning Japanese in high school and college, but I also think that crossing that language barrier allows you to really deeply know a culture.
I would love to be able to find misplaced things. I'm always losing my phone, so if I could be able to find that in an instant, that would be amazing.
If I had a superpower, I would want to teleport so I could travel easily without standing in security lines.
I love mochi donuts. I especially like the matcha flavor, so hopefully I can have some soon.
My favorite dessert is strawberry cheesecake.
I love the coffee crunch cake at Yasukochi's Sweet Stop. It's so delicious and sweet, and I recently had it and it was just the best.
Favorite dessert would be Yogurtland. I am obsessed with the mochi bit toppings. I think they are so delicious.
I love all desserts, but my favorite would probably be ice cream, specifically ice cream sundaes with donuts or cupcakes or cookies.
What fun. Great. Well, welcome back to the program. We're going to jump right back in and start with the final judged category for the candidates. Each one of the candidates has selected their unique creative expression to share with us tonight. This segment is 10% of their overall score.
And the judges will be looking for the candidate's ability to creatively express herself.
That's right. We're going to start with candidate number 1, Katie Akiko Drennan. She will be performing the song Hallelujah on ukulele to a video of family photos. She has been studying ukulele with Rodney Takahashi of Ukulele Jams, and Katie says that preparing for this creative expression has been so meaningful to her because she has been able to learn more about her family history through compiling photos.
All right, for her creative expression, candidate number 2, Stephanie Misa-Doi, will be performing 2 original abridged poems to a video of photos to honor her grandparents. Her first poem is about her Oba-chan on her paternal side, who is living resiliently with Alzheimer's. Her second poem is about her Oba-chan and Oji-chan on her maternal side. She says that without her grandparents, she would not be who she is today.
I never knew to appreciate those sticky grains of rice pocketed inside a zuki, ohagi and abundance, like her words, her laughter, her way of caring for me. She was gentle, kind, hospitable. She still welcomes you into her home, but her eyes don't follow. They're as dark as Ohaki, but they don't look as sweet. They're lost staring at tunnel corners, waiting for something, watching for someone. I miss her eyes, even though I can see them. I miss her Ohaki, even if I can make them. I wish I could taste another sweet Ohaki, shaped by her hands, made using the eyes that once lit up when she fed me. Your smiles make my lips light, so pointed that just curled to touch the cheekbones you gave to me. But my heart grows heavy in my chest between the shoulders you gave to me. My brain floods with memories sprawled on your couch, hot summer days, eating ice cream, watching TV, playing games, swimming. The two of you spoiling the three of us, showering us with love and joy, the type of joy that touches my eyes and crinkles my nose, the one you gave to me. The pieces of you on my body, mind, heart will always remain, even as I long for more time with the two of you together again. Thank you.
Sponsored by Podcast. We'd now like to go to candidate number 3, Michelle Chieko Catherine Hacker, who will be performing a dance that she choreographed to an original song that she wrote, recorded, and produced. The song and dance are dedicated to her grandparents, whose resilience has served as an inspiration throughout her life. Michelle Chieko Catherine Hacker, sponsored by Kpop-TV Streaming App.
All right, for her creative expression, candidate number 4, Ashley Suzu Takemoto, will be performing a karate kata called Rohai, or Sign of the Heron, which is a long-legged bird. She loves practicing karate because it's taught her to balance her mind, body, and spirit. She has been studying karate for 4 years and is currently a brown stripe belt.
Commerce of Northern California. We'd now like to go to candidate number 5, Sydney Matsko-Kassen, who will be showing a video montage of her mountain biking adventures around the Bay Area. She has been mountain biking ever since she was little. She filmed this video on a GoPro with help from her loved one and edited the footage together. She hopes that you enjoy watching the video as much as she enjoyed filming it.
I would like to tell a story about the moment when I think I became a true mountain biker. I was 6 years old and racing down a dirt hill on a little Barbie bike. And I came to a screeching halt right in front of a group of very experienced mountain bikers. In this moment, I think my dad believes this was the most proudest experience of me. I hope you enjoy the video, and if you also mountain bike, add me on Strava.
Yes, that's quite the range of creative expressions from all of our candidates. Please give one more round of applause for all the candidates in the town.
Now we have the great honor to welcome this year's Cherry Blossom Festival co-chairs, Mr. Matt Nagatomi and Mr. Dylan Rusky.
Program. We are so excited to be joining you all here tonight to be invited. For those who don't know, Matt and I have been involved with the festival for the last 16 years. This is actually our first opportunity to visit and to enjoy this program firsthand. So it's been a very exciting and eye-opening experience for us, and how much more goes into the festival than we see on the day-to-day. It really enforces, all the mentorship we've gotten from past queens and courts that we have worked with over the years. So to see the process they go through and all the care they put into this event is just so awe-inspiring. So thank you so much for joining us here and for welcoming us to this event.
Like Colin said, thank you all for having us here. We have been in the festival for 16 years. Fun little history fact, we started by being told to jump in a dumpster because the trash had not been sorted. Luckily, we've progressed and we now have a company that helps us do the sorting. But I always attest to that moment. When we jumped to the dumpster, we looked at each other, we didn't have a second thought. We came to that dumpster, jumped to the dumpster. I'm sure there's something in there, it was a little bit, but after that, we became the closest and best of friends. We fight, we cry together, but at the end, we always know that we're pushing one another to become the best people we can. Now here we are, we're chairs, and that's just me and him, but there's also a lot of people in the crowd that have helped us got here through community events, and especially for this year, Yuki Nishimura and Kiyo Takeda, we could not have done it without them this year. With those two, the four of us have been on calls every single day for at least the past 3 months, and a collective effort for all of us to come together and really try to make the festival and come back after 2 years of not being here. So I just want to say thank you all for having us, and we hope to see you all tomorrow and the following weekend at the festival. Thank you.
like now to welcome 2021 Queen Kelly Ashima to help us draw and announce the raffle prize winners.
Yeah, so if you have your raffle tickets handy, please get them out. As we call the winning number, we'll have our ushers who are around the hall verify the tickets. And so if you could please have the house lights come up now so that people will be able to see. And we could have, yes.
So the winner will be given their prizes at the end of the show at the raffle table located at the back of the floor level of this theater number 1. Please look for Nina Myers or Kyle Godain to receive your prize. That's him right there.
All right. So our first raffle prize is the first of 3 gift certificates for an exclusive Eve the Look natural set of eyelash extensions by Queen Program's hair and makeup artist, Ed Already. Telly, you have the first ticket. And the winning number is number 411057. 411057. Yon Ichiichi 057.
The second raffle prize, the second of 3 gift certificates for an exclusive.
Is there anybody who received that number? Please don't be shy and raise your hand. 411057. Do you have a winner? And if you want to raise your hand or stand up, that might help. If there are more house lights that could come up, that might be helpful as well. Thank you.
Okay, now onto the second. The second raffle prize is the second of 3 gift certificates for an exclusive Eve the Look natural set of eyelash extensions by Queen Program's hair and makeup artist. Are they ready? Kelly, again, would you do the honors?
Here we go. 411370. 411370. Yonichi. Oh, right over here. Congratulations.
Congrats.
411370. Okay, our third raffle prize is the final gift certificate for the Look natural set of eyelash extensions. Thank you very much, by Ethel Reddy, and that number is 411463. 411463. Yon Ichiichi. Yon Roku-san. Over there.
Okay. Now, we have a $50 gift card to Asakichi, donated by Queen Program Kimono Sensei Hiroko Sato. Do we have the winning ticket number?
This number is 411366. 411366.
Wow, double winner.
Next, we have a $50 gift card to Sakura, also donated by Queen Program Kimono Sensei Hiroko Sato. And that winning ticket is 411619. 411619. Right over here, this gentleman. Congratulations. 411619.
Come on now.
Okay, we have a $50 gift card to Katsura Garden, donated by Queen Program Kimono Sensei Hiroko Sato. Winning ticket number right now.
That number is 410512. 410512. Yon Ichire Go Ichini.
Winner. Raise your hand.
Anybody? Okay.
Draw again.
Draw again.
Draw again.
Here we go.
Round 2.
And this number is 410207. 410207.
Anyone? Anyone?
Over here. Okay.
Oh, backstage.
Congratulations. All right, and finally, we have a $50 gift card to Kisako Tea, also donated by Clean Program Kumo-sensei Hiroko Sato. And Kelly, you have the number.
This is the bottom one.
That number is 410726. 410726. 410726. Over there. Oh, congratulations.
Cool.
Congratulations. And thank you so much, Kelly, and congratulations to the winners. We would like to invite to the podium Ben Nakajo, but thank you all for helping with the raffle, and thanks to everyone who purchased the tickets. That goes, you have just supported this wonderful Queen program just by virtue of buying the tickets to help them. Without your support, it would be very difficult. So indeed, thank you so much. Bravo to all of you, and thank you all for participating. So at this point, we would like to invite to the podium a very, very special man who has really been the backbone of this program for so many years, dare I say decades, should I say generations. But we are so lucky to have with us tonight Queen Program Chairperson Emeritus, Mr. Ben Nakajo.
Thank you so very, very much. Gratitude, appreciation, kansha. Over these many years, when it comes to this part of the program, to express thanks to special supporters, to recognize and to thank the corporate sponsors is an agonizingly difficult task as to how best to express our deep appreciation for the generosity and the benevolence, support, and efforts of the sponsors that contributed to our program. Without your generous and invaluable contributions to our community, this Cherry Blossom Festival, this Queen presentation, the entire community celebration would not be able to take place. So I call out in gratitude our corporate sponsors, the Cherry Blossom alumni, Fujiyasu Kimono Company Tokyo, Japan Airlines, Japanese Chamber of Commerce in Northern California, the Japanese Tea Garden, Golden Bay Park, Kayoko Designs, Niseki Jewelry, Plaza Insurance, Union Bank, and Yamagami Company. In recognition of your invaluable contributions, your signatures, your logos, are in the media, newspapers, magazines, on street signs outside, on our screen, on our printed programs, and our posters, to give you a small recognition for the tremendous, strong contributions you've made. Yes, but is it enough? We are always conscious of that, how best we can truly express our appreciation. Perhaps the best return above all is for our Queen Program Committee and Court to do the best we can to reflect and represent what is best in our community and to show in every way possible the pure, hard-working, generous spirit that comes from your sponsorship. Sponsors, kansha de ippai desu. Thank you. Arigatou gozaimashita. Illustrious judges, your efforts are deeply, deeply appreciated. No one knows better than we on committee the tremendous task that you have been given tonight. When you said yes to our invitation, little did you realize what a heavy burden we were putting on you. You have our deepest thanks, our warmest wishes, and we applaud your service. To the 2021 Chair Blossom Court, to Telly, Akiko, Ashlyn, we are very proud of you. You came to us during a terrible worldwide pandemic. But you were the bright stars in the gloomy skies above. You persevered and did your duty as best you could for this Queen program, for the community, for the festival, and for yourselves during this most difficult time. Now you go your way. You have finished your job. Go as we watch you from afar. We watch your rising stars. Take the lessons and experiences learned from this community experience, and when the time comes, return to us, return here. This community waits with open arms to have you join and lead us into the future. Finally, my words to the Queen Program Committee. How can I adequately express my feelings and true thanks for your tremendous work and effort toward this program, especially during this difficult year. You have worked wonders, given unlimited time and energy to cover every aspect of this program. Assembled a fantastic group of young women to represent the Japanese American community, created this fantastic presentation, and assembled our distinguished judges and our loyal, benevolent sponsors. For all you have done, and all that you will continue to do, as inadequate as it is, arigato from my heart. To all you candidate and corporate sponsors, court, judges, committee, family, and friends, I leave this podium with gratitude and appreciation for all of you. Jana and George, my warm admiration and appreciation always. Thank you.
Mr. Ben Nakajo, the inimitable Ben Nakajo, thank you so much for all of your service. Another round of applause for him. He has been such a tremendous leader for all of us, and we do wish you well. We'd also like to just take a brief moment to recognize a very special person in the audience. If we could have the lights and Miss Glenda Okamura please stand and be recognized. Glenda has been part of this program for more than 40 years. You might recognize from her last name, Okamura, that she is.
After more than 115 years, they closed last week, serving up the last Mochi Manju for the last time.
And Glenda has been part of this program usually on the production side, so this is the first time she's actually able to enjoy it as you are from the audience side. So we're so grateful for all that you've done, so glad that you're able to join us and be part of this program and hopefully enjoy and relax and not have to worry about all of the other things that you've been doing for so long backstage. Thank you so much. Glenda Okamura.
Well, while we are nearing the selection of our 2022 Northern California Cherry Blossom Queen and Court, we'd like to take this moment to briefly share the 2021 Court's journey.
And as you saw by the court's video, you can see their camaraderie. We're going to put it on the screen, and it really has been, George, quite the journey for them, having this happen during the pandemic. And I recall last year as we were doing the virtual Queen program, they were so tremendous, and I really tip my hat to all of you. I think it's wonderful that we're going to get a chance to see what they have been able to accomplish.
It'll always be my day. Day zero when I was no one. I'm nothing but myself. You are no one else. Thankful you're my day one. Thankful you're my.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
China has identified the cause of the mysterious new virus. The first U.S. case has been detected.
I have today declared that the coronavirus presents a public health emergency in the United States.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Well, you can see the camaraderie that happens as a part of the program as these young women go through the year, and it was quite a year for them, but it's also clear, that as they went through this, they did it with so much grace and so much courage, and we thank you for that, for helping to continue the program through this very difficult time.
They truly are the true champions of our community, and the community thanks you, and we thank you. All of us here in the audience, thank you for all that you've done this past year.
So now we would like to bring our court up, and I think it really is an important thing for people to know just how much this past year you have grown. We are so very proud of you. We are so very grateful to you. Thank you so much.
The 2021 court, Queen Kelly Ashima, of course, Princess Akiko Bates, and Princess Ashlyn Ha.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. My name is Kelly Noelani Ashima, and I have the honor of serving as the 2021 Northern California Cherry Blossom Festival Queen. The theme of our 2021 festival was Kizuna, strength through bonds of community and friendship. Throughout our year as a court, we witnessed our community's resolve in continuing to hold events and finding ways to celebrate Japanese culture. Using technology, we were still able to develop friendships with our sister courts in Hawaii and Los Angeles. And this year, we stayed engaged through a combination of virtual and in-person events. We were committed to demonstrating Kizuna by supporting and serving others. Through the Queen program, I grew in confidence and gained leadership skills while creating wonderful memories in the process. My court year would not have been the same without my court sisters, Akiko and Ashlyn. Akiko, I admire your passion. Whether it be your career, Queen program, or something as simple as choosing our matching court outfits, you always approach things with such enthusiasm. And Ashlyn, I admire your courage. Even when something was new or uncomfortable, you were always willing to step out of your comfort zone and at least try. To the 2022 candidates, congratulations and welcome to the sisterhood. We wish you all the best and know that you will be wonderful representatives of our community. I would like to thank our candidate sponsors, the Japanese Chamber of Commerce of Northern California, Takanasake USA Incorporated, and Benihana for all of their support and generosity. The Queen Program Committee for continuing to bring women to the forefront of leadership in our community. And the Fujiyasu Kimono Company for this beautiful Queen's kimono.
Yes.
Finally, I would like to thank my parents. Mom and Dad, you have shown me what it really means to be selfless. Even though the last year has been difficult on all of us, your love and support have never wavered. I appreciate all that you do for me. Once again, thank you, committee, volunteers, sponsors, donors, and most importantly, our community, for helping to make our court year an amazing one. We could not have done it without you. Thank you.
Bravo to you all. And we would like to ask the 2021 court to remain on stage at this time as we announce the 2021 Tomodachi
Meaning of friendship, congeniality throughout the duration of their entire year. The ballots were collected and tabulated by our auditors.
And as many of you know, Tomodachi means Friendship Award. This court member will be honored with the Tomodachi Award for their selflessness, honesty, and hard work as a team player throughout the year. This award is annually donated by the 1992 Miss Tomodachi, Miss Hamada Wong. We would like to ask for the envelope, please.
No envelope.
No envelope at
Well,
this time.
we know who the winner is. The 2021 Court Tomodachi Award recipient is Jennifer Kumura. Jennifer Kumura. Congratulations, Jen.
And as Ms. Kumura was unable to join us tonight as she moved away from the area, we are very excited to celebrate her tonight and the bond that she continues to have with the program as well as the 2021 court. Thank you so much to all of you, the 2021 court members. You are so special. We really appreciate everything that you've done for us this year. Bravo.
Thank you.
And now we would like to take a brief moment to bring out the 2022 candidates, their journey. You can see how much of a sisterhood that this is, and it is clear that there's a lot that goes into really preparing for this moment.
Watch the video.
Okay, we now would like to bring out our 2022 candidates on stage one last time as we head towards the end of this program.
Yeah, let's give a big final round of applause to the 55th annual Northern California Festival Cherry Blossom Festival Queen candidates. As we are about to reveal the results of this evening, it is my pleasure to mention and thank the auditors who have been calculating the candidate scores.
Yes, very important job. And they are Head Auditor Peter Long, Bank Specialist at Union Bank, Auditor Jesse Hay, Data Scientist at Meta, Auditor Kara Meguro, Senior Financial Analyst at DocuSign.
We truly appreciate all of your time and diligent work this evening. Please give a round of applause to the auditors.
Thank you so much. And it is time to find out who will be chosen as our title holders for the 55th Annual Northern California Cherry Blossom Festival. These five ladies have worked so hard to be where they are. One round of applause again.
Now, in the event that the Queen is unable to fulfill her official duties, the first princess will assume the role as the Northern California Cherry Blossom representative.
And we do have envelopes for this.
Yes, we do. This time we do.
And before I open it, I just want to say, ladies, all of you, thank you so much. We're so proud of you and what you accomplished. All right, and the 2022 Northern California Cherry Blossom First Princess is Sydney Cassis.
She will be crowned by 2021 First Princess Akiko Bates and sashed by 2021 Princess Ashwin.
Her tiara has been donated by the 1999 First Princess, Ms. Amy Tsujishi and Mr. Kerry Honda. The first Princess Sash is donated by the 2018 First Princess and Tomodachi Award recipient, Ms. Maya Hernandez.
Yo, no, Maya!
Thank you, Matt, and congratulations to Sydney.
Okay. Another envelope right there. And now the moment we all been waiting for, the 55th Annual Northern California Cherry Blossom Festival Queen. Results are on this piece of paper. Ladies and gentlemen, the 55th annual Northern California Cherry Blossom Festival Queen is Stephanie Joy.
Festival Queen, Stephanie will be going on a goodwill tour of Japan. She's receiving 2 tickets on Japan Airlines, presented by Mr. Tangi Ozawa, Vice President and Regional Manager of the Northwestern Region.
Thank you so much to Japan Airlines for your sponsorship and making this a possibility. We also are going to be presenting the Queen Award from Festival Co-Chairperson, Mr. Quillen Brusky. Congratulations to you.
And the sashes were generously donated by 2016 Queen Sammy Tsukiji and her mother, 1972 Queen Sharon Tsukiji.
And each princess will also be receiving a Northern California Cherry Blossom Festival Award from our Queen Program Chair Emeritus and Sakura Matsuri Incorporated board member, Ben Nakajo. You go, Ben! Congratulations, yes, congratulations.
Each year, the court is provided with many gifts. We would like to acknowledge the following gift donors. Thank you to Ms. Kayoko Tachibana of Kayoko Designs, who has gifted a Sakura pendant, which has become a symbol of each court member's association to the Queen program and this festival.
And also thank you to the Nichibei Foundation for generously donating a 2-year subscription for the Nichibei Weekly to the court, an invaluable resource for community news, something that you can use throughout the year.
The Queen Program Committee has gifted the court matching hockey coats with the festival's logo to wear at various events and other festivals.
And of course, the beautiful kanzashi the court has worn in their hair for the first half of the program, donated by Ms. Bertie Hui, Ms. Ryoko Sato, and her mother, Ms. Yoko Sato.
Congratulations once again to our 2022 Cherry Blossom Festival Queen and Court.
Representing us through the rest of this year. It has certainly been an amazing evening. Starting off this 55th annual Northern California Cherry Blossom Festival, we want to thank each and every one of you from the bottom of our hearts for being here, for supporting these young women, for supporting the program and what it represents, and supporting our community here in Northern California. This has been such an amazing and emotional evening to all be together again, and it really is a special time.
Right, but it's not over. Remember, we'll see all of you tomorrow, as well as during the festivities, so throughout the week, next weekend, so this is just the start.
Yes.
Everyone, please have a safe evening, and again, thank you. This concludes our program. Good night, everyone.
We do want to ask the following people to stay for the photo shoot.